Good morning. Welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes. How's your Christmas going? Are you getting everything ready? Well, I've got some ideas for you today if you have last minute guests that you didn't know about. We all have them from time to time and you feel awful because I haven't got anything. They're coming, I can't get to the shop or the shops are closed already. What am I going to do? I've got a couple of ideas for you today. They're quick, they're simple, and you'll be able to do them yourself easily. So let's get started. I'm going to make sure first we're going live in the right place so people can find me. They're simple, and you'll be able to do them. We don't need to hear me again in echo. All right, let's get started. I'm going to turn the camera down to the desk and we're going to organise these quick little gifts so you can get on your way and make them yourselves if you need them. So let's get this happening down to the desk. There's my messy desk. You can see I've got everything. I've been crafting a lot. I think it's going to stay today. It's actually, it's a bit over that side, isn't it? Let's see if we can encourage it to come back a bit. How's that? That's looking all right. It's not perfect. We're not going to fuss too much today because I know you guys probably need to get on with your last minute Christmas preparations. I've got my husband out shopping and my daughter is with him doing the last minute Christmas shopping. So I'm here to show you what you can make quickly if you have a last minute visitor. We're going to start with some cardstock, and I love this paper. I love this paper. This is out of the Sentimental Christmas, which is that give back paper. So that for every packet you bought, you gave back $4 to Kids for Literacy, I think it was this year. So I'm just going to cut 6 centimetres, and that gives me a row of stockings. So we'll do that. And then I need this at 24, but I want the bottom of it to be a stocking. So I'm going to cut that off. So I'm going to just cut that there. We're going to whip this. This is very, very simple. Simple measurements, 24 by 6. Like so. We've got 2 stockings and 2 bows. And then this one, get these things out of the road so I can move it up. This one is the base, so it is 7 centimetres by 25. So 7 centimetres by 25 for the base, and your DSP is 1 centimetre shorter and narrower. I also want to be able to put something on the back. Now I thought I whipped out a bit of old cardstock. This will do. I want this to be 6 centimetres to fit on the back, and I'll make it 10 centimetres. Now, a little hint, we can do 9.9. If you're doing a long sheet of paper like this, and you want to make the most out of it, you can get 3 9.9s down the piece of paper. So I often just work out how to take like a millimetre off and no one notices. It still looks like a 10 centimetre piece. So we'll just pop this aside for a minute. And we're going to glue this to the front. Now, I am using up old glue, so if you see me shaking, it's because I'm trying to get all the glue out of the bottle. Now, at the top here, I am going to need to make sure it sticks very well. Let's get a good shake, because I'm going to punch a hole there, and you'll see why shortly. So that just fits on like so. Now, we'll bring in our stamp mat. This is very quick. fact, I'm going to do 2 for you. I'm going to bring in my red, real red ink to match in. And I'm also going to, oh, I know I need to do something. We'll do that in a sec. We'll do this first. We're going to stamp from, and we're going to stamp to. Now, I was going to, and I still can, use my green ink. I should have done it before I glued this bit down, but we can get away with it with using a bit of cardstock. And I'll use this piece here. I wanted to, oh, actually I can use, I don't want to waste all that cardstock. I've got some sheets here left over from one of the classes I did. So I'm just going to put that up against it. If I'd done it before I glued it, I wouldn't need to do this, but I didn't. So we'll do it this way. And I'll bring in my green ink pad. This is Granny Apple Green, which is the same as the cardstock, and it's the colour of the leaves here. So we'll hold that tight there. And I just want to, where these leaves are all the way down, put some colour in. And we'll go down here. Along the bottom. As it would have been easier if I'd done it before I glued it on, wouldn't it? But we can still do it by using a piece of paper on the side. And then all the way up. Ooh. Stay there. And then we'll just go across the top here. And there we have it. And I want to do the same on this one. So I'm just going to go round. A bit more in the corners than down the sides. But it just softens the paper when you put the edging of the paper when we glue it on. So we'll just shut that for a minute. And I'm just going to glue this on the back here so that when we give it, we can put our details. Now, although you don't know what I'm doing yet, but I will leave that there. What if you don't have paper left? Well, we'll do the similar thing, but instead I'm going to use this paper instead of cardstock. This is a thinner cardstock. It is the one where it's two-tone, so the back is lighter than the front. And so we're going to, I'll show you an alternative to pull this together. Now, we'll bring in our plate. We don't need the ink underneath. So I'll do a 7 centimetre one and a 6 centimetre one. And again, we're going to cut the bottom piece at 25. That's got a little bit of it turn up on the corner, so we'll put it on that end. The bottom at 25 and the top, which is going to be the lighter colour, at 24. Now you could use 2 different cardstock colours. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm just using this because I have it. Now, bring my stamp mat back in, and I'm going to bring my green stamp pad in, and I'm just going to quickly stamp some stars. Now this star stamp is out of the Decorative Trees stamp set, and I'm not too fast, I'm just putting them all over the place. And we'll put some out the side. Oh, missed it. That's about enough. And then I'm going to take my paper and do the same. I'm going to soften the edges. Now, it takes a little bit more colour to really pick it up when you're doing colour on colour. So I'm just going round. And we want more on the top. And down the sides, and then we're going to do the same at the bottom. Actually, this might end up being the top, looking at it. Okay, now I need another white piece for the back, so I'm going to grab this again and cut another 6 centimetres by 10. And before I stamp it, I'm just going to go round with the colour while it's here. I'm going to take this little star stamp, I think I'll put it up in this corner, and one down here. And then our to and from, I'm going to do in green. No, I might do it in red again, because then I don't have to clean my stamps. See, this is when you go, if you're doing something quickly, you want to try and keep your colours so that you can do a couple of things with them and not have to wipe them and clean them in between. So there's that. So let's put that bit together. So you can see you don't have to have fancy paper. You can just use the paper you've got. Now, again, we've got this glue that's got to be encouraged. Don't want to waste any glue and leave it in the bottle. It will. That'll be enough. That will work. So there's that one. And we'll turn him over and put this one on the back. Oh, come on, glue. You can do this. This is your last little bit for the day, I think. We'll give it a really good shake. That'll do it. And we'll pop that one there. Now we're going to bring in our trimmer again. And I'm going to score along the top here 7 centimetres down. on both of them. And we'll get the bone folder and give that a good fold. So now we've got that with our gift tags on the back. We're going to take our circle punch, and this is 1 3/4 inch, which is 4.5 centimetres. I've got that written on the back here so I know. Now to do this and work out the middle, I found it quite easy. I'll try and hold it so you can see. I have the paper so it just leans against my finger here. And I look at the paper on this side and it lines up actually with these openings. So I try and get that to line up, and then I hopefully will have a circle in the middle. And we're going to do the same on this one. So line it up on the side with your finger and match up your top and bottom with the circle there. And there you go. So what are we doing with them? Well, we bring in our wine bottle and we just shove them on top. And then it's you could say that's done, but I want to make them just that little bit more personalised. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can pull out, I'm sure if you've done a lot of crafting, you've got lots of bits and pieces. I haven't got much left actually, I've been using them, but Christmas trees and bits and pieces that you can use. Or you've got the ephemera packs that you can pull out some quick things. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my white piece of paper, put these aside. I'm also going to I'm going to die cut a couple of things quickly. So I've got red, I've got some gold that has some adhesive backing on it, adhesive sheet on the back left over, and that's been cut out of one of those pieces like this that I used on a card. I cut that out and it's spare, so we can use that. Pop all that up there. So what do we need? First of all, I'm going to cut out 2 greeting labels. And I'm going to use, these are the Christmas label dies. I've used them before. Let's get that top off it. They go with these stamps. So I'm going to use Be Merry on one and Merry Christmas to you on the other. So we'll cut those through on some white cardstock. Actually, I won't do it like that because that'll be too tough to go through all at once. Now, my plates, as I've said, my plates are very bent, so I've got to get new ones in the new year. So now we've got 2 labels that we can stamp on. And then we're going to bring it back and I'm going to cut out of the Christmas tree dies. I'm going to cut, can I get them? Oh, they've all jumped. I'm going to cut out the tree in red. And I'm going to cut out, this is the holly. So we'll have the holly and the tree. And what's the best way to get this so I can use more again? maybe like so. So let's cut those two. Oh, I've got to get it started. Once I've got it started, there we go. You won't have the trouble I'm having because your plates won't be as bad as mine. So let's get the big shot out of the road for the moment. In fact, I don't think I'm using it again. And we'll bring in our pieces. So we'll pop that over there and that over there. Get everything out of the road that we don't need so it's not a mess. We'll need the pick. And our tree. So I'm just going to peel this. This is exactly what I have on the table. Remember I did the table setting? Now I'm hoping to take a photo of that today so I can show you. So I'm slowly putting on the 12 Days of Christmas items. Take that one off. So we've got all the pieces off it. This just goes on here like so. And then we'll bring in our stamps and our red stamp pad again. And our stamp mat. And on one, I'm doing Be Merry. And on the other, I'm doing, we'll get it up the right way, Merry Christmas to you. And my final step is to bring in my paper again for this one. And I may even have enough. I just want to put a bit of green around the edge, so I don't even need to ink it up again. So let's put it together. We'll get dimensionals. Pop this on here. Okay. 3 dimensionals. This one's going to go here. I might go down a little, actually, because I've got to fit a tree in. We're going to get the dimensionals onto the tree. And that's just going to sit on top there like so. And for this one, I'm just going to put this, let the paper do the talking and just put this one on in the middle. Drop them. So we're going to pop that there. And then they just pop on the bottle. So they'll just pop like so. It looks like you've actually thought about it, planned it. It's not the normal cheap bottle bag. It's just something a little bit different. So I do these often for Christmas. I'll bring you in a couple I'll show you. that's one using the reindeer paper, and that's out of the ephemera packs. Again, out of the ephemera packs and the reindeer paper. And this one is using all the bits I had left over. I had a reindeer cut out. I've used the reindeer paper, but ephemera pack, and I had some of these sparkles left from when I did the Christmas decorations, so I used them on them. So you can use a variety of different things. You just need to think about how you want to decorate it. It can be as simple or as intricate as you want. Ribbons, you could put bling on it, whatever. But you can't give wine to the kids. You could put this over a bottle of soft drink for the kids, but you can't give it to them, the wine to the kids. So I've come up with another idea for kids. And I'm going to bring in my cutting plate again. And I'm going to bring in this paper. Again, it's the double-sided one. And I want 10 centimetres. And then I'm going to mark it at 5 up the top with the scoring blade. So I can see the mark. Then from that mark down to the bottom corner, which I'll have to go up higher because it's perhaps not showing. I am just going to, get that out of the road, cut from that mark in the middle at 5 down to the bottom corner, like so. And then I'm going to do the same on this side, from that middle point down to the bottom corner. So what we have is a very narrow Christmas tree. I'm then going to, I'll need this out, score every 3, get everything out of my road, score, and I'm going to try and keep this line straight with the lines on here, every 3 centimetres. I'm actually going to be doing this with, we've got one of Bella's cousins having a sleepover tonight, and they're going to be making these Christmas trees. I'll be doing all this bit, but they'll be putting it together. So I'll be scoring it and cutting and scoring so that they can then fold it. So again, it's every 3 centimetres all the way along. And trying to keep it so the lines are straight. And this one's the last. Oh, hang on, we might see what we do. Do we do a 27? I'm trying to remember how many I did. I think we will do a 27. So, let's pop that out of the road. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut this very fine 0.1 off. And I'll get my scissors. Then I'm going to fold them, concertina. Now I'm just doing it really quickly, and then I'm going to cut this one off. So I'm cut the bottom one off, and I'm cutting the top one off. And I'll just, oops, it's a pretty pattern as it is. So I'm taking my hole punch, my office hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole right in the middle here. So I found if you can look from above and you put it all the way in, it will be in the centre, and you just have to make sure that this is centred with there. So I'll see how I'm centering. Oh, it's a bit hard to see, but I'm centering it on this one here so that I know it's going to go, this hole is going to go through every layer. And you can tell too by keeping this straight. So now I have a Christmas tree full of holes. I'm going to bring in a pencil. Now, we had a heap of Christmas pencils left over from last year, and that's what we're using. You may not have a Christmas pencil, you might only have a black lead or something. You can always cut out a star and put it on the top, but I thought these were great because they had the rubbers on top. So I'm going to fold it back up now and push my pencil in. And it's a bit tight, but it does go in. And put it about a third from the top. And then I'm just going to gently start to unfold. And then I can do the bottom ones. And you can have it as close as you want. That just sits like so. So you can have it as close as you want at the top. You just want to try and even them up a bit. And of course, a Christmas tree is not a Christmas tree without decorations. So we're going to pop on. And I just, look, you could put them on the point here. That works fine. Or you can put them on in here. So we'll just do a bit of it all, eh? And this is where the kids can go to town. If you're doing them with kids, they can put as many jewels on as they want, or as few as they want. And I put a few inside here too. So we'll get a few more on and then you'll get the gist of what it's going to look like. Well, what colour haven't we got up there? We'll need another one of these. We can put one of those in there. Now, that's just giving you an idea. You can, as I said, put as many or as few as you like. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to just cut some ribbon. And I'm going to tie a bow down the bottom. Now you can use any ribbon. I just happen to have this Christmas ribbon out. If the ribbon doesn't want to stay on the pencil, you can use a glue dot, but I found once I tied it, it was all right. Now we can trim the ends of those. That's probably a bit big, that side. We'll make... And this could also go on the plate for kids, if you've got a whole lot of kids coming for Christmas. You know how you put some decorations on your plate? This could go on that. And as I said, do as many or as few as you want. This is my other one that I've done. It's been handled quite a bit, so the ribbon's moved around. But that's it. That's as simple as it is for the kids. So there's a variety of things, as I said, you can do that's quick and simple. That's really a quick little gift if you need it. It's also a quick little craft that you could do with the kids on Christmas Day. We're doing, as I said, some tonight because we've got a cousin coming for a sleepover. And so, and here's your I'll pop that there. Your bottle covers. And with their names on the back, it becomes like a Chrissy card as well. So it's a great little way of giving a bottle rather than just here's a bottle or putting a bow on it or in a bag that, you know, has been handed around for Christmas 5, 6 times. So that's my ideas for Christmas, quick and simple ones. I'm going to pop you back up to me. Hopefully you've got some ideas on that and you can go ahead and make your own Christmas ideas or Christmas gifts. It's just something simple and quick that you can do and make them feel a bit special rather than if you've just pulled a bottle out of the cupboard. So I'm hoping that this will inspire you again. This is the last in our Christmas series. So we've finished Christmas. Next week, I will be starting with new items from the new summer catalogue, the new mini catalogue that's coming out in January. So I'll be ready to give you some ideas and inspire you with what you can do with that. But this was Christmas all done. Keep an eye out over the next couple of days. I will finish putting up all the 12 days of Christmas photos and some of the other photos of things that I've made prior to Christmas. Have a good Christmas, stay safe, and I look forward to catching up with you next week after you've enjoyed your merry time. All the best. Bye-bye.